Hi everyone, we're going to be looking at colouring today, or colour grading. So you can see that I've already got my stock footage already set up here. If you're not sure how to import, then have a look at the tutorials that Tom's done. Okay, so we're going to be using this clip to begin with. This is some footage that students captured last year, but I only want to get a little bit of it. So I'm going to mark mine in and out on here. I don't want the sound though, so what I'm going to do is just grab the video from there and put it down onto my timeline. Get rid of this. Okay, so I'm just dealing with this on here and no sound. Now when we are applying colour, what we don't want to do is add it directly onto the clip. So we set up something called an adjustment layer. And to do that, you come down to the bottom here, click on New Item, then select Adjustment Layer. Make sure it's the same settings, it should be automatically. Click OK. Drag that in on your video 2 line and just drag it out so it fills the whole of the clip. Now, a good reason for doing this as well is if we had anything else to add on, we wanted it to look exactly the same, we could drag that for the rest of the timeline. Okay, so we're going to need the effects here. And we're going to be working in this one here, which is video effects. So to begin with, I just want to show you how it looks if we just add a simple brightness or contrast on here. So if I drag and drop that onto my adjustment layer, so not the video, it must be the adjustment layer, and come up to effect controls up here. So just adjusting the brightness and contrast then, we can do this. We don't ever really get the look that we want. And this is where a lot of students have gone wrong in the past. Just by adjusting brightness and contrast, you're not actually recolouring. So I'm just going to get rid of this now for that adjustment layer. So Control click and then clear. Okay, so we're back to that now. What I am going to do though, I'm going to stay in colour correction here in that folder, that drop down, and I'm going to go to the 3-way colour corrector. So again, drag and drop and just place onto the adjustment layer. What I want to achieve from this then is, I know it's quite a sad shot really of somebody's gravestone, but I want to warm this up. Maybe it's the resolution in a film, maybe it's, you know, perhaps it's at the end where actually we might have lost somebody, but it's all okay. So to do that then, on the 3-way colour corrector, we're dealing with shadows, midtones and highlights. And what we want to do to warm something up, we've always got to stay around the reds and the yellows. So let's look at the highlights first of all then. I'm going to bring this over to here. I'm going to do the same thing with this bit as well. Not so much this time, I don't want too much red. And then let's have a look at the master as well. And I can check to see how this is looking by coming over back to my timeline and hiding what I've just done. So straight away we can see that there's a bit more warmth to that there. I can change this again by looking at the input levels, the black and the white just here. So if I pull that down a little bit, that's going to change again. Okay. Again, looking at that. Another thing that I can do as well to get this looking a little bit more warm is I can also add the fast colour corrector too. So again, drag and drop this over, and rather than this looking at the shadows and the midtones and the highlights, it does the entire thing. So again, I'm thinking I want to warm this up a little bit more. So I'm going to come over to my sort of oranges over here, and you can see how things change. If I bring it down to the blue, it's giving it that much more cold look. Okay, let's look at how that was before. Okay, so again, we're getting much more of a warm tone now in this shot. It might be that you're thinking, this is too much colour, I don't want this, I don't want so many reds and yellows. So what we can do then, we can change the saturation. We can drop this down a little bit. We're still keeping hold of that original colour. Okay, Now, as well as going into every single folder that's on here, what you can do is you can just do a search. So for example, if I wanted to add a lens flare now to this, I could just do a search. So lens flare. It's going to come up there and I can see it's in the folder for generate. And drag and drop that again onto my adjustment layer. So we can see now we've got this lens flare, but I'm not very happy with where that's appearing. So what we can do is we come to our lens flare here and we can see where the flare centre is. So this is going to control your horizontal placement of it. This is going to change your vertical placement. So I'm just going to move this now ever so slightly there, and I'm going to pull that up a little bit too. Now you'll notice that we're on the sort of the 50 to 300mm zoom here. We can change that, we can have it to a 35mm. We can also change it to the 105mm. Depends on what look you want. Okay, I quite like that one, so I'm going to stick to that. Let's move that over again. Let's move it up a little bit. Probably noticing now that things are lagging a little bit. That's because this red bar across here, that's saying where we need to render. So it's every time we do any kind of effect, it needs for it to be applied. I'm going to change that again now, I think. Move it along. So a lot of it is just messing about with how you want it to look. And of course as well, you can change how bright you want this. Knock that down a little bit. You can bring it up so it's very vibrant. Or what you can do is you can blend it with the original piece of footage. So what we've got here now then, looking through there, much warmer than that original piece of footage.